freaking love Halloween. And I really loved Stranger Things from the first episode. So this year, I decided to make a costume at the Byers' house, after Will's mother has hung up lights to communicate with him. However, I didn't want to just use a store-bought string of LEDs, I wanted a closer match to the charm and atmosphere of the show. I'll show you how I put together my costume using a shirt, some paint, an Arduino, and addressable LEDs I bought from SparkFun Electronics. It's simple enough that it could be a first Arduino project, but there's a lot that you can do with it. First, the shirt. I found a shirt from Urban Outfitters that matched the wallpaper pretty well. I was in a hurry, otherwise I would have gone to a thrift store, but I did this basically the day before Halloween. I stuck a sheet of cardboard inside it to make it lie flat, then painted the letters on, from the inside out, to make it even, with regular black acrylic paint. I really wanted this to look accurate, so I found some light bulbs at Michael's that were the perfect shape. I replaced the LEDs inside them with addressable LEDs. These let you hook them up in a chain, and then send messages to each individual LED to turn it on or off. They have a power, ground, data in, and data out, and are really easy to use. Because I'm using addressable LEDs, I removed the original LEDs, as well as the resistor and the wire that let everything run off of wall power. I then took an addressable LED from SparkFun and placed it inside each light with the data pins bent, so that they could make contact with the original power bus. Data in going where the power was on the original LED, and data out going where the ground was. This lets them connect one by one to each other through the original power bus. Also during this project, I was reminded that cats love to mess with big piles of small objects that can knock flying everywhere if they're big fucking dumb. Just kidding, I love my cat very much. She's a wonderful kitty. I then ran separate power and ground wires to power each light. There's an integrated circuit chip inside each of these, so you really need to be very careful with putting power and ground to only the power and ground pins. I ruined several LEDs doing this.
Oh shit, I blew it up.
Last thing for the circuit is you need to include a capacitor across power to ground and a 330 ohm resistor before the first data pin. And it's time to start programming it. The Adafruit NeoPixel library makes it very easy to write code for the addressable LEDs. Here's showing them lighting one by one. Here's one flickering. And here's them getting ready to play some Dungeons & Dragons. Since the LEDs are RGB LEDs, we can color each one. I took the time to make sure that each color lit up the same shade as its bulb. If you don't do this, it looks a little unnatural and very much like an LED. Matching the color of the shell brings some warmth to it, like the 80s style incandescent bulbs. I wrote several small algorithms that it randomly switches between. The Demogorgon prowling through the house in a random direction, forwards and back. The flashing yes-no conversation that Will has with his mom. And jumping from random lights to emulate when Will is spelling words. I didn't have enough LEDs to make this be a 26-character keyboard, so I didn't go that route. I think for a simple Halloween project this worked, but I would love to expand it for conventions and things. Anyways, all this Stranger Things talk has made me real horny for some synths.